I'm now holding on to an old HDB.
Correct.
Right? I hear of this phrase, negative sale.
Yes.
Very scary. Is it when I sell my old HDB, it will be a negative sale?
Hi everyone, I'm Eugene,
My name is Casey.
and this is
The Singapore Property Talk Show. Casey here, I'm a banker turned real estate salesperson and also an investor myself. Right now, I help many couples and households upgrade to their dream home and also invest in a viable property.
Hi everyone, I'm Eugene Cheng. I'm a realtor for 10 years and also an owner and investor of multiple properties in Singapore. I specialize in asset progression and help many families achieve the same as myself.
The aim of the Singapore Property Talk Show is to empower the everyday Singaporean
With the knowledge of the property market on the ground. So this week's topic, we're talking about resale HDBs, the pros and cons, some of the misconceptions that they have, and also to answer some questions that we have on the ground. So
We start off with the first question, right? I think a lot of sellers on the ground that we are serving always ask this, hey, I'm now holding on to an old HDB.
Correct.
Right? I hear of this phrase, negative sale.
Yes.
Very scary. Is it when I sell my old HDB, it will be a negative sale? Eugene?
I think that that comes back to the calculation point, which many times, right, when we first meet a customer, we'll definitely do. So negative sale, right, is not always, for all properties, it's not always a negative sale. If you buy way before, let's say maybe in the early 2000s, then today you might be sitting on positive. It really depends on how much you're paid upfront, the amount of accrued interest there is, and also whether you've been paying more advance in CPF or cash. What do you think, Casey?
I think my viewpoint very similar to Eugene, right? Is that depending on when you buy.
Yes.
Right. So it really depends on when you buy, how much you buy, how much you owe. Because I think the formula is very simple. Current selling price minus whatever loan that you do have, minus all of your CPF accrued interest.
Yes.
If you have a positive number, that is a positive sales proceed.
Correct.
If you have a negative number, then it's a negative sale. Right? So it really depends on what is the loan that you have left over, the accrued interest and the principal that you do paid up.
Correct.
And that's why I'm saying that, when you buy is very important. So when you bought it at a low price, right, that means your loan probably not so much.
Yes.
Your CPF accrued interest is not so much as well. So when the price has already appreciated right now,
Yes.
then using that formula, right,
It's unlikely.
it's unlikely that you are hitting that negative sale.
Correct. So many people make the mistake of taking into account their COV and their renovation costs, and then they say it's negative. That's not how it's technically being defined in this market.
So I think HDB define it as per the formula.
That's the formula.
Selling price minus loan minus CPF, that is your sales proceed.
So if you're worried about negative sale, our next episode will address whether it still makes sense to sell, how we usually handle negative sales as well.
Yeah. In summary, this is the formula. It will be listing out, right? Sales price minus loan minus CPF. If it's a zero or a positive number, it is not a negative sale.
Correct.
Right? If it's a negative number, right, should you be concerned? We'll be addressing it next episode. Yes. So I feel all property is always a negative sale is really a misconception here. Right, so
very common.
Yeah, it really depends on when you do buy. I think when my parent bought their place, a resale flat,
Yes.
right, back in the days, about 30 years back, when they sell it now, it is not a negative
Unlikely.
sale. Yeah, it is not a sale. When my parents bought it, they bought it at MOP,
Yeah.
30 years ago. So the house is about
100,000.
$80 plus $1,000. $80 plus $1,000. So even if they sell it now, the price that come out to about 300 plus to 400,000, right?
The obvious case, on the other hand, for negative sale would be like, for example, if you buy at 600K and today the property is worth 500K. So that's one very obvious situation that you can see that is negative sale already.
Stay tuned, right, for next episode we talk about whether or not negative sale.
How do you handle it?
How do you handle it, right?
Yeah.
So it is a misconception, right? Today it's a misconception that all property always sell
Confirm negative sale.
at negative sale.
Alright, so that's it for today. My name is Eugene.
My name is Casey.
Thank you for watching
The Singapore Property Talk Show.